computed. Okay, so let us have the journey of that. So you have seen how the salary computation take place. That's there under section 15 to 17. And there are certain exemptions which were there under section 10 related to salary computation, gratuity and all. And then there was a deduction which was there under section 16 for salary head. Am I right? याद है सैलरी जब भी आप कर रहे थे, है ना? सेक्शन 10 भी है और सेक्शन 16 भी है. Okay. Similarly, when we did the house property, but what was needed for salary? Salary के लिए क्या चाहिए था? There has to be employer-employee relationship. Okay. Consistency of income. Okay. Whether it is received or due, anything will do. नहीं मिला तो भी, like always in the month of last month salary we are getting in the subsequent month, but still it is a computable. Still it is a taxable. So these things we have learned under head of salary computation. Then we started learning house property head of computation. There also we see that there should be a house. Whether we are earning from that house is immaterial. Many a times when we are not earning from the house, then also it is taxable. You have seen deemed to be LOP, or the houses where the rent received was lower than that of fair rent or municipal valuation. So in house property, only the house structure is important, which should have kitchen, which should have, I mean, whatever the characteristics we have seen. And there also there were exemptions and deductions were there under section 24 related to computation of income from house property, that is standard deduction, interest paid, so on and so forth. Then so here we used to write those deductions under specific head. Here we used to write those exemption under specific head. Here also we used to write that. But when we went to the profit, which is very vast, profit or loss or profit or gain from business and profession, thereby we again see the characteristics. For business, your motive is to be earn profit. Whether you are earning profit or not, it is immaterial. But आपके दिमाग में होना चाहिए कि मैं प्रॉफिट कमाने के लिए बिजनेस कर रहा हूँ. Then yes, it will be covered under that head of income, and it is computable under section 28 to 44 of Income Tax Act. And for profession, you have to have an extraordinary skill, degree, or any qualification which allows you to earn profit or earn income. So thereby we have seen there were two types of questions. I mean, for business, they used to give us the net profit and loss account, and where the net profit which has been calculated used to be wrong, and we used to get the new net profit which is appropriate, and that was taxable, that was computable under section 28 to 44 for the computation of taxable income from business and profession. And there were another type of question whereby we have seen that only the receipts and payment or expenditure incomes used to be given. We used to take only those income which is for the business to the for the profession or to the profession by the profession, and only those expenses which are for the profession to the profession by the profession, and minus करके whatever we used to get as a taxable income for business and profession. This is just a recap what we have done. Then we did capital gain, which was there under section 45 to 55. For that, we need to have the capital asset. the definition were there. We have seen that almost all fixed assets, by and large, what we call it as an investment, are capital assets, maybe movable, immovable, etc., etc. So there has to be a capital asset. That capital asset has to be transferred during previous years, and due to those transfers, you must have earned certain income. Will be computable under capital gain for 45 to 55. Then we have segregated capital gain into two categories for two different type of capital asset. One is financial capital asset, another is non-financial asset, capital asset. For financial capital asset, if the transaction takes place within 12 months, it will be short-term capital gain, and that's very easy. You take the sales proceed and deduct the cost of acquisition, you will get the short-term capital gain. For long-term, more than 12 months. Other than financial asset, it is 24 months. If the transaction took place within 24 months, it will be short term. Again, the computation is very simple. But when it comes to long term, then cost of acquisition or cost of improvement is not important. Indexation is important. Index cost of acquisition, index cost of improvement is important. Okay. So we need to do the indexation of those costs. We need to take the indexation which starts from 2001 and 2 and which is 100 until today it is 301. So it is done by the government due to inflation index. Every year cost of inflation index is increasing, and that rate is applicable for computation of long-term capital gain. Next is income from other sources. Any income which were not fall under above heads by default is income from other sources. And section 56 is charging section for income from other sources. 57 is deduction which is allowable for income from other sources. 58 is a deduction which are not allowed for income from other sources, and 59 is deemed income from other sources. So this is how we have learned all these heads. Any doubt? So if you will file the returns for your any client, he might suppose if you take my example also, I am earning from all these heads of income. I'm earning salary from Thakur College. I have few extra house property from there. I'm getting rent that is computable as income from house property. I'm going as a professional lecturer and director and charging certain extra fees which will be computable under business and profession. I invest in shares and I'm getting certain profit out of it, that is capital gain. And of course, I have certain deposit with bank. I am getting royalty, etc. That is falls under other sources. So you need to learn all these heads of income computation if you want to file the returns for any individual or any kind of assessee when it comes to computation of their tax liability. So when you will add all these things, you will get gross total income. Okay. And keep in mind, when it comes capital gain, the only short-term capital gain is a part of gross total income. Long-term capital gain is fully taxable at the rate of 20%. वो अलग से आ जाता है. Okay. Thereby, after getting the gross total income, there are certain deductions also, like how we had a deduction under head of salary under section 16, under head of house property, under section 24, under head of other sources, under section 57. Similarly, for gross total income, after adding all these heads of income, there is a deduction which is available under section 80 or chapter 6 of Income Tax Act. So there are many sections under section 80, like there were many sections under section 10, but there were only few sections which were important and we have focused there. Similarly, in section 80 also in our syllabus, we have only 5-6 important sections which are important for us and which is a part of syllabus, and question will also come from that. So these deductions are under section 80 or chapter 6 of Income Tax Act. That comprises ATC. So now I'm going to teach you deduction under section 80 and computation of gross total income. I hope computation of gross total income is over. Yes or no? Adding all the income will be gross total income. The first, what is there in your syllabus is ATC. So if you are contributing to the government, like NSC and all, you have added as a taxable income or income from other sources. But again in ETC, there is a reduction. Okay. So if you are making the premium for life insurance, it will be deductible. So all 38 items are there, which are covered under ATC. अगर आपने इसमें invest करा for the government, then it will be deductible under section 80C for computation of gross total income. Okay. If you have made the premium for deferred annuity by the government, contribution for statutory or public provident fund, यहाँ पे आता है, contribute करोगे तो भी deduction मिलता है. Okay, public provident fund, statutory provident fund, ऐसे all सारी चीजें दी रखी है. Recognized provident fund, superannuation fund, NSS, NSC, ULIP, right? कितने सारे हैं, annuity plan, equity plan, notified pension fund, तो कितने सारे, even payment for tuition fees for your child is also deductible under section, because nowadays education cost is very high. So government has given you the deduction under section ATC. Whatever the tuition fees you will pay to the government, it will be allowable as a deduction. Okay, any principal amount paid for the house property and interest, you have seen there was a deduction under section 24 of house property. But if the principal has been deducted, it is a part of ATC. Okay, if you have invested in infrastructure, equity shares and debentures, infrastructure units, likewise, there were all these items if you have invested there, and to what extent you can get the benefit? 1,50,000. Suppose you have done the investment of 1,20,000, it will be allowed. But if you have invested as 1,80,000, then up to 1,50,000 will be allowed. 30,000 will not be allowed. Okay. Including pension fund. You must be knowing after 2005, government has stopped giving the pension, even for the government employees. So they have incorporated this in ATCCC. So if you have invested in any kind of pension fund, but together ATC and ATCCC, maximum amount of deduction is 1,50,000, not beyond that. Okay, suppose you have invested 1,20,000 in ATC as an investment, and pension plan you have taken for 40,000. So altogether is 1,60,000, but you will get the deduction up to 1,50,000. 10,000 will not be allowed. Is this clear? Then we have ETD. If you have invested in mediclaim insurance premium, so you know in today's medical cost is very high. So government is asking and promoting that we should have mediclaim. So if you have invested in mediclaim, then also it will be additionally deductible under section 80D of Income Tax Act. Okay. So mediclaim, of course, for an individual HUF Now there, if you have for entire family, it is allowed. Entire family means you, your spouse, dependent children, and dependent parents. Up to 50,000. It can exceed 25,000 extra if there is a senior citizen. So up to 75,000, you can avail the benefit of ATD in medical insurance premium. If suppose any handicap is there in your family, then also you will get a deduction under section 80BD. Now, handicap things has been subdivided into two categories. One is severe handicap and another is minor handicap. Severity, again, government doctor can decide. And if the person is more than 80% disabled, it will be severe handicap. And there, the deduction is ad hoc 1,25,000. If it is minor, then the fixed amount of deduction of 75,000 will be allowed. Okay. So we have seen ATC, ATCCC, ATB, ATDB. ATC investment, LIC and all. ATCC, if it is pension fund, दोनों मिला के not more than 1,50,000. ATD mediclaim 50 plus 25. ATDD, if there is any handicap relative for their maintenance, if you are investing, if you are keeping, and it is severe handicap, then it will be 1,25,000. If it is minor, then it will be 75,000. Next, interest on loans taken for higher education under section 18. So if you know higher education cost is also very high, so whatever the interest your parents is paying, even tuition fees is there in ATC, but interest, you if you have taken the loan and the interest is paid, entire amount of interest will be deductible under section 80E of Income Tax Act. And ATU, these are only sections which are there in your syllabus. So any individual, if they are handicapped and earning income, again, if it is a minor disability, up to 70, ad hoc amount of 75,000 will be allowed. And if it is severe, then 1,25,000 will be allowed. So we have seen ATC, ATCCC, ATD, ATDD, ATU, ATE, and ATU. Okay, ATC is regarding investment, CPF, RPF, etc. ATCCC, that if it is your pension plan, together it should not exceed 1,50,000. ATD mediclaim 50 plus 25. ATDD 75 or 1,25,000, right, for handicap related maintenance cost. ATE, entire amount of interest if I have taken for higher education loan. And ATU, income earned by handicap, again 75,000 or 25,000, depends upon their severity of handicap. Okay. So what you will do, as I told you, after adding this, you will deduct this deduction. So क्या आएगा? What you will get? Total taxable income. ठीक है? अभी टोटल टैक्सेबल इनकम पे आपको टैक्स लायबिलिटी ढूंढनी है. टैक्स लायबिलिटी के लिए क्या आना चाहिए? टैक्स लैब आना चाहिए. इस साल का टैक्स लैब क्या है? ये सब आपको सिखाया गया रहेगा. अप टू 2,50,000 नेट, 2,50,000 plus up to 5 lakh 5%, 5 lakh to 10 lakh it is 20%, 10 lakh and above 30%. Okay. Likewise, this is the slab which is applicable. So that will give you total tax liability. Okay. Then you have to deduct if there is any tax deducted at source, advance tax, self-assessed tax, and whatever is left out will be payable to the government. Any doubt? These things are covered under section 139, filing the return. Okay. (131) A due date of filing the return. Likewise, ITR 1, ITR 2, ITR 3. This is the same thing. So if suppose an SSC has 6,10,000 as taxable income, okay, how they will be liable to pay the tax. So up to 2,50,000, no tax. For remaining 2,50,000, so 2,50,000 plus 2,50,000, it is 5 lakh. It will be at the rate of 5%. So 2,50,000 ka 5% is 12,500. And as it was 6,10,000, so 5 lakh to 6 lakh for next remaining 1,10,000 it will be at the rate of 20%. So 22,000. So total tax liability is 34,500. This is below 60 years. These are the liability when you are below 60 years. If it is above 60 years and below 80 years, then this is the rate. Up to 3 lakh nil, 3 lakh to 5 lakh 5%, 5 lakh to 10 lakh it will be 20%, 10 lakh and above 30%. Okay, so now based on this, there is a next example we quoted here for you to understand. Here the taxable income is 7,50,000. Can I have your answer? What will be the tax liability based on this table? Any of you? Very simple. Up to 3 lakh nil. ठीक है, 3 lakh to 5 lakh 5%, मतलब 2 लाख पे 5% कितना आएगा? 10,000. और as it was 7,50,000, so remaining 2.5 lakh पे 20%, 50. So total tax liability is 60,000. Everything is explained in your textbook. If it is 85, the third class, 80 and above, up to 5 lakh it is nil, 5 lakh to 10 lakh 20%, 10 lakh and above 30%. So it is 15 lakh. So up to 5 lakh nil, next 5 lakh 20%, 20% is 10, 1 lakh, next 5 lakh 30%, 1,50,000, total 2,50,000. Now we will have the computation of total income. For that you please rejoin because this meeting is getting over. So with the same login ID and password, please rejoin. We'll take up one question and after that this syllabus will be over.